Hey, folks, how's it going today? It's Jamie here, and let me scooch in a little bit. We're going to take a look at the Line 6 Helix HX family of products, the 2.9 update. It's really good as far as I'm concerned. Hey, folks, how's it going today? Alright, so that works. But I wanted to go live with this patch I just dialed in. Basically what I did was I removed my Shure Reloaded and my Precision Drive from the signal path. It's basically guitar into my HX Stomp, and from there it goes to the Legendary Drive, which is based on the Carvin Legacy Drive, which is Steve Vai's signature preamp pedal. So what it does is it acts like the preamp or like a synergy unit in a way. It kind of emulates that. So right now what I'm doing is I'm loading that into the return section of my guitar amp. It's a tube amp, and I really want to play this stuff for you guys so you can get an idea. I'm going to share this live in a post on Facebook that I just made, so that anybody that sees it can maybe jump in and take a peek, because this sounds pretty freaking good. So settings on the Legendary Drive. The drive is at 8.1, the bass is at 7.1, the mids are at 8.1, the treble's at 3.7, the presence is at 5, which I believe is default, and then the level is at 5.2. Keep in mind, I'm using this with a tube amp, so you'd have to set up your presence and resonance controls accordingly. But I'm very, very impressed with the current results. So let me make sure this stuff is trucking along and we can jump into that. I'm going to play a few tracks. Nothing really out of the ordinary here, aside from people are still asking if the update's out. Yes, it's out. So if you have a Helix, if you have HX Effects, if you run native on your laptop, any of the Helix products, 2.9 is supporting those. So I would highly recommend you jump in and download those ASAP, because meter leveling, where you can visually see if your preset is clipping out or not, individual blocks will turn red if they're clipping. It's pretty cool. Even on the HX Stomp, there's quite a bit of just UI visual stuff that they improved. Very satisfied with that alone. So I'm going to jump in and play a backing track. I have E-flat backing tracks. Let's see here.
Shot through the heart, and you're too late. Darling, you give love a bad name.
So yeah, that's a quick demonstration. I was just goofing off. We have a few comments in the chat, so I want to address those quick. Let's see here. Shut up, Jamie. Robbie says, sup. Robbie says, have you messed around with the Rev Purple yet? Yeah, I did, man. And I tried both the amp model and the preamp model. So kind of the same feelings about the red channel on the Rev generator. And I think that it's very true for the actual amp. It has a lot of high end to it, and it was really hard to dial that out. I could probably make it work tweaking and maybe add like an EQ block in there or something to try to dial some of that back. But I think by nature, the amp just has a lot of highs, and I was trying to compensate with mids. Now, I only had 5 minutes with the purple block, but I need to jump into it more. But initial thoughts, for my tastes, I wasn't very impressed. Now, the gain structure with all 3 aggression levels, I thought was awesome. I think it's very usable and workable for any guitar player that loves high gain, overdriven sounds. Greasy Greek guy, that's an awesome name. You're a player and a half, I can't lie. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. We have Bam. He says, howdy. Bam, good to see you. Howdy to you too. What do you think, Mr. Mr. Thames? Did you try it yet? Let me know what you think. And I'm going to jump into another backing track because why not? Trying to demo this a little bit. So I did turn on my precision drive. So the precision drive is now in front of the legacy drive, the legendary drive, I should say. So this will be a little bit different than the first go around. I also added more presence on my amp, so we're going to see how that goes. Here's one, whatever. So yeah, I'm going to jump back to comments for a second. I'm going to change guitars too, to my Ibanez, which will probably go out of tune because that's what it likes to do. And then I'll read some comments because that's what I do. All right, let's see here. Yeah, it usually does have lots of high end. I usually run the treble at like 4.5, 4.8 per Robbie on the Rev. I only had a little bit to try it so far, but I love it. Might start using it for my 80s shred stuff, both the Legacy and the Purple actually. The Legacy Drive is, I'm just going to say it, like by far my favorite effect in any of the Helix products right now. And it takes a lot for me to be impressed by any sort of modeling distortion, but this is really good. Whatever they did over at Line 6, they totally nailed it. All right, what else we got here? Oh, it looks like we got Chris in here. Hi, Jamie, just tuned in. Play that again. What are you in front of? So it's my Fly pedal board, which is featuring the HX Stomp. Basically, it's precision drive, which is a real overdrive pedal, into the legendary drive, and then it goes into the return of my amp. And I'm using the resonance and presence controls on my amp itself. Let's see here. Sounds cool. What's your chain? Jerome, pretty much that. And then it's going into a 412 BlackStar 4. Yeah, the cab's loaded with V30. Sorry. Holy hell, that sounds fantastic. I completely missed the legendary drive in testing. What amp are you in front of? Okay, just answered that. Veritech. Yeah, I know it's you, Chris. By the way, you have something coming your way, buddy. So check the mail soon. Wolverine, what's up, man? Hope you're doing good. Sounds perfect to me. Please make a patch and upload it in custom tone. I think you need to be... And Chris might be able to answer this. I think you need to be approved for uploading presets. I'd love to. Just make something simple. Let me know in the comments what you're using your Helix with. So are you using it with a powered wedge or are you using it with a real amp? Would you prefer I try to create a patch for direct scenarios? Or kind of what I've been doing in 4-cable method? Sweet. And guys, just a side note. So this came in this week. Got one of the Line 6 HX effects, courtesy of the Line 6 team. They came through pretty well on this. I'm very thankful to have the relationship that I do with them. So I'm going to be creating 4-cable method patches on this, all 80s style stuff. This is already updated to 2.90, the newest firmware. And I will be creating some presets built around that, intended to use with an amp. That's what the HX Effects is. It's meant to replace your effects pedal board. So look forward to that. And I'm excited too. It has MIDI on the back and out through. So I'm going to be able to do some pretty cool stuff with this. And I'm going to pair it up with my Hughes & Kettner Black Spirit 200. This may very well be my new fly board. Just this. And I'm excited for that. So... more to come on this. But let's check to see if this is in tune. And I'm going to play, if I can remember how to play it. I might botch it, but Just Like Paradise, which is David Lee Roth and Steve Vai, legendary drive. I figure it's going to be perfect for this patch. So let's see how it does. So I don't actually know that song, but it should give you a pretty good idea of some Vai. I'm going to jump back to the comments here, and I'm going to play one more for you, if I can. All right, let's see the comments. Aljon, that's not a freak out, actually. That's just my Morley Wah that I was using for some of that stuff. And this pulls off some harmonics pretty well, too. So let's see here. Custom tone is free. You can upload all day long there. Well, I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to do it for you. Because I want people to have these presets and patches, and you can tweak them as you wish, and saves you time, that's for sure. Yep, the Black Spirit loves the HX effects. I'm sure it does, man. I'm going to try that out probably by the weekend. Alex Knievel, what's going on, man? Good to see you in the chat. Aljon says, one of my favorite DLR songs. If only I remembered it. Better than I do. Legacy Drive is wonderful, isn't it? Aaron Short, yeah. And guys, go subscribe to Aaron Short. He just had my buddy Jared. He was just on my channel like 2 weeks ago or something. No, like 4 weeks ago now. Check him out and give him a subscribe thing. He went live with 2.9 today and was tinkering around with it. So check out his video too. Face melt emoji, please. What's the signal chain? Okay, signal path is... it's line 6 G70 into my DigiTech Drop into a PolyTune 3 Mini, the Bonafide Buffer Edition. And then from there it goes into the HX Stomp input. And then I have effects loop block right is going to the Horizon Devices Precision Drive. And it's the first block in the chain on the HX Stomp. And then the second block is the Legendary Drive, the Steve Vai one. And then from there, it goes into the return of my tube head that I'm using right here. I'm using my BlackStar HT Stage 100 because it's a great pedal platform amp. So that's the signal path into a 412 that's mic'd with an SM57. So hopefully that gives you a pretty good idea. Let's see what else we got here for some tunes. I hope this track isn't garbage.
Burning down the avenue.
Oakley dokley. So does that give you guys a pretty good idea? Pretty good idea of some of this legendary drive stuff? Okay, let's see here. Comments. Aljon says, hi there, just listening while working. Sucks, man. I'm sorry you gotta work right now. It's like 6:30, dude. Go home. You put in your hours for the day. I give you permission. Tell your boss to give you permission to go home. Nice. So you're using the legendary drive like a preamp, correct, Alex? And the precision drive is a boost. I need to try this. Yeah, definitely, dude. If you have a Tube Screamer or just the Scream 808 and Helix, we'll probably get the job done too. I like the precision drive because it has that noise gate on there. But inherently, the precision drive also cuts away some of your low end frequencies. So I'm trying to compensate for that with the depth finder, and it's working pretty well. I actually just dialed down more bass as a result. Volak, what's going on, man? Killer Ibanez, thanks. It's a 25th anniversary. I've had it for, since 2015. I put the Jason Becker Perpetual Burn, and it has just the stock, I don't know, DiMarzio Fast Track or Air Norton S, I think it is. Aljon says Vito, yep. Some Vita Brada. John Sykes would be proud. Nailed pinch harmonics too. Thanks, dude. It's my favorite thing. Whammy bars and pinch harmonics. Can't go wrong. One of the best for sure. Vito along with Marcello from Europe. Dude, I was just listening to Europe on the porch with my girlfriend this weekend. Cherokee, Rock the Night. Just some stuff she's never heard before. I mean, everybody's heard the Final Countdown, so. Wolverine says, you've a musical encyclopedia. Aljon, that's awesome. I just knew I liked so many Europe songs. I'm going to keep playing for a little bit, guys. All right, guys, that's about all I got. But yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think of the Legendary Drive. I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm going to keep tweaking on it and see where I can get with it. And, of course, I already advised that I'm going to be making a preset, like a patch for it. So if you want it, let me know. I'll make one for HX Stomp as well as the HX effects for you guys and put it up on, not the marketplace, but whatever we were just discussing, Custom Tone, I think it's called. We can do that. Let's see what we got here. Can you do it, lay it down? Yeah. Can you please tell me the color wiring that corresponds where the wiring goes on the yellow jacket? Yeah, so it's white and red together. Black is your ground, and yellow is your hot. So, your yellow would go to your switch. In your case, I know you're asking about your Ibanez probably. I would take a picture of where your bridge humbucker is connected. You already know that the ground and the black wire are going to go to hot. Not hot. They're going to go to your ground. So it's going to be soldered to the back of your volume pot, for instance. And then just follow where the coil split goes on your original humbucker. It's kind of a hard question to answer in terms of not having the guitar here. It's such a hard answer to come up with because there are so many different styles of switches. Ibanez, their color scheme is kind of weird. Their wiring colors and stuff. If it was like a direct swap with a Seymour Duncan, I'd be able to tell you where to put the wires. But if you have a soldering iron, it's not going to hurt the pickup to play around with it a little bit. So take the bridge pickup out and start fooling around with it until you figure it out. But yeah, like I said, two of your wires are already eliminated, the black and the ground, which is the bare wire. So you already know where those are going. The white and red typically would be tied off and soldered together, and your yellow would go to the switch. But in your case, I'm thinking the white and red need to be soldered to the switch somewhere. So, like I said, just look at your original pickup wiring and see where those wires are connected. It probably has 3 connected to your 5-way blade switch, if I were to guess. So, I'd start there for sure. Yellow is hot, yep. The black and ground will go onto the back of your volume pot where all the other grounds are. I finally installed my first pickup, LOL, but it was a Seymour Duncan and an Ibanez. I used a wiring diagram on the Seymour Duncan website. Actually pretty easy. If you were able to be successful with that, just remove the Seymour Duncan and put the Job tone in there. And I think green or black is the hot on a Seymour Duncan. I can't recall. But your yellow would go wherever that hot is. I'm pretty sure it's the black wire. Black or green. Yep, just standard wiring. No push-pull. Yeah, so... yeah, definitely start there. Yep. Yeah, you probably have 3 wires connected to that 5-way switch. So start there. Add me on Facebook, Jamie Trevino on Facebook, and I'll walk you through it if I can. We can do a video call or something like that. I'd love to help you and get that installed. But guys, I'm going to cut this off. I want to kind of hang out for a little bit, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in today, and be safe, stay healthy. Cheers.